the company behind those coffee machines and pods. It's being bought by a private equity firm for nearly $14 billion, and shares right now are up 72%. Shares of Pep Boys up 1.5%. That's on word that activist investor Carl Icahn, who we learned just last week now owns 12% of that auto parts retailer, is looking to buy the entire company and paying more per share than Bridgestone, which is currently in talks to acquire Pep Boys. And the Federal Trade Commission now officially challenging the proposed merger of Staples and Office Depot, saying it would have too much power over pricing. Tom Busby, CNBC.
You don't have to be a retail giant or government agency to be the victim of a costly data breach. If you run a website and collect customer data, your small to mid-sized business is just as likely to be targeted by hackers. The Barracuda Web Application Firewall provides cost-effective instant security against automated and targeted attacks, making this WAF a must-have for your SMB. Reclaim your network. Try a Barracuda Web App Firewall risk-free at barracuda.com/WAF.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is our New Year's gift to you. Circle this date, Friday, January 15th. You're invited to start the new year off right with a subscription to BuySellMakeOffer.com. Some other selling sites can be sketchy, and even others will charge you a fee on every item you list. But with BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell your washer, dryer, cars, or even your home with no per-item fees. And you can use Skype, make a video. You can actually see the person you're buying from, or they can see you, all to better sell your product. Wouldn't you like a feeling of security when you buy or sell? That's why we call it BuySellMakeOffer.com. And you don't have to wait until January 15th to find out what the buzz is all about. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and type in your email address so you'll know exactly when the fun will begin. The first 30 days are on us, and then it's as little as $7.95 per month to sell up to 50 items. Join the revolution in online selling with BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Good afternoon. It's 12:03. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live, local, national, and international news here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Pearl Harbor survivors are remembering those who lost their lives 74 years ago today when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Scott Pringle was at a ceremony in New York City.
Clark Simmons says it feels like yesterday. The 94-year-old Brooklyn native was aboard the USS Utah, recalling the chaplain saying Mass, and then he says the sky was blackened.
As the machine gun bullets were strafing the deck, he says, God bless you, man your battleship, man your battle station. And many of the fellows never got to the battle station.
And added, we didn't know what was happening. All we could do was try and save our lives. I'm Scott Pringle aboard the USS Intrepid.
And here at home, San Bernardino is still reeling from last week's attack that brought bloodshed and shock across the region. The community is still processing the fact that the massacre is being investigated by the FBI as inspired by ISIS. Many sermons yesterday carried messages of condolences and hope in area churches. The San Bernardino Clergy Association is planning an interfaith prayer vigil with the Inland Empire African American churches. The 7 p.m. ceremony will be at Our Lady of the Rosary Cathedral on West 25th Street. California State University San Bernardino will also hold a candlelight vigil on campus tonight at 6:30 to remember the victims, their families, and their friends. And the vigil is open to the community. Inland Empire weather today. We are cloudy out there, but highs expected to climb to 80 degrees, overnight lows 45. More of the same tomorrow. Currently, we are at 78 here in San Bernardino. And Looking at your traffic situation, there's an accident in the right lane of the 10 eastbound just before Cedar Avenue as you make your way through Bloomington. And also the Waterman Avenue north and southbound street is closed, both directions still between Orange Show Row and Hospitality Lane due to ongoing police investigation. That is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind. KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
Everyone's talking about the stock market crash, but there is something that may hurt your retirement plans even more. If you want to find out about this looming crisis and what to do about it, join us for Safe Money Talk with Rick Leeweg every Tuesday at 6 p.m. only on KCAA.
Your work ethic.
You've got to be on the same page.
Today we're calling to let you know we are debt-free, house and everything.
You have done really, really, really good. And you're not going to quit now.
It's been a huge witness for us to be able to share that.
It was time to get serious.
Intentionality, people. Celebrate the success.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
This is your show, America.
If I knew at 22 what I know now, our life would be better off.
It's the show that's changing the world. Now you don't just listen to the show, you live it. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's the Dave Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. This is your show. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Tom starts off this hour in Richmond, Indiana. Hi, Tom. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I'd like to thank you first off for taking my call. I really appreciate all the help you give.
Sure. Thank you.
My question is, I'm going through a divorce right at the moment, and I'm on baby step number 1. And some of the terms of the divorce, I get the house, but it also states that I have to refinance that house into my name solely in order to appease the courts, I guess. But my question is at this point, could I consider going in and consolidating all of my debt with that refinance? It has to be done anyhow. I just didn't know if consolidation at this point would be a good idea.
So what do you owe on your home?
About $75, I think.
What's it worth?
It hasn't been appraised for a while. We've lived there for quite a few years.
Oh, roughly. You know roughly what it's worth.
I would say probably around that. It's probably close to that.
Close to 75?
Yeah.
But you owe 75?
Yeah.
So how would you borrow more money on it than it's worth?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know what it's worth. I really don't. I haven't looked at it in quite a while.
Okay. All right. What did you pay for it?
Well, that's been 17 years ago. I'm guessing somewhere around $80,000, and then we had a medical deal, and of course we borrowed on the home for that. And
yeah, but you owe 75 today, and you 17 years ago paid around 80 grand. It's got to be worth more than that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Unless you've run it down, unless it's all to pieces or something.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So
actually,
let's just play pretend for a second that it's worth 150, because I'm going to guess. I'm just sticking a wet finger in the air, all right? Now,
okay.
if it's worth 150, we don't know, but we're guessing for discussion purposes. What other debts do you have?
I have 2 student loans. One's about 18 grand. One's about 16 grand. I've been paying on those pets
what other debt?
While. Pardon?
What other debt?
And I've got a vehicle.
How much do you owe on your car?
I owe about 8 on it.
Okay. What other debt?
That's pretty much it.
Okay. And what do you make?
With the overtime, I make about $5,000 a month.
Okay, so about $60 a year.
Are you got grown children, or are you going to have child support?
I've got a 10-year-old. I have child support, $300 a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And she has debts that she's getting out of this divorce, or what?
Yeah, she has her student loan and her vehicle, that sort of thing.
Your name on that vehicle?
No.
Okay. Not on the loan either?
No.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Well, the answer to your question is no, I would not put the loans, in the other loans, the student loans and the car loan, into the refinance on the house. And here's why. If you die or become permanently disabled, Sallie Mae federally insured student loans are forgiven. If you die and they're in your mortgage, they're not forgiven, or you become disabled. And so I don't want to put that extra risk on your house. And I think you can probably just roll up your sleeves and say, okay, I don't have to deal with any other domestic issues inside this house. The only person I got to control is the one in my mirror. And so part of my healing after this divorce is I'm going to get really busy and bear down and pay off these debts really, really fast.
Sure. Okay.
And what is the interest rate on your home today? Do you know?
No, I haven't looked at that either.
I'm going to guess and say your house payment might go down.
Okay. Yeah, it very well could.
You might be able to put your house on a 10-year note.
Okay.
I want you to look at that because I think your interest rate's going to go down, and you've only got 13 years left if 17 years ago you took out a 30.
Right.
And with a lower interest rate, I bet you can get a 10% loan and probably not see much of an increase in payment.
Well, I'm going to get I am going to get the loan for a short amount of time as I can because, of course, I want to be debt-free. You're my hero.
Exactly. Well, I'm honored. I appreciate that. So. Yeah. I would check Churchill Mortgage on a 10-year, and I would check your local credit union on a 7-year and a 10-year. And if you go to the credit union, make sure you only look at a fixed rate, no variable rates.
Okay. Our company does have a credit union, so I might be able to get a good deal there. But
yeah, check that rate versus the rate you've got now, and then let's just leave those loans outside of that mortgage and attack them with a vengeance now that the only thing you've got to control is the person in your mirror, because you guys have not been able to concentrate on money because you all been going through all this marriage stuff, which just, makes it very difficult to concentrate on anything. So thanks for the call, brother. Appreciate you listening. Merry Christmas to you. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Let Blinds.com help you update your home for Christmas. It's not too late if you order today. Blinds.com has the latest styles, low prices, and experts to help you every step of the way. Go to Blinds.com right now and get window treatments by Christmas. That's Blinds.com. Today's question comes from Heather in Idaho. She says, after my brother passed away last year, his student loans were forgiven, but his wife later learned that this forgiven loan, it was now considered income, and she had to pay taxes on it. Could you please clarify? She does not have to pay taxes on it. His estate might have a tax bill associated with it. Student loans, or I'm sorry, not student loans, but loans that are forgiven of any kind except your personal residence are considered income. That's true. And so the forgiven loan does have taxes on it at his tax rate in the year that he passed away against his estate. But she does not have a, quote, tax bill. Before she can get money out of his estate, though, his estate would have to pay that tax bill. So, yes, that is true. But it's less than 100%. I mean, you had a 100% student loan. Now you got a 20% student loan or whatever the tax rate is. So you're in a lot better shape. Same situation I was just talking to him about, oddly enough, a second ago. So something to think about there. Well, Merry Christmas to you, America. Glad you're here. Coming up, my daughter Rachel Cruz joins us as we talk smart money, smart kids. We talk about gift giving during the holidays and kids giving gifts during the holidays. So stay tuned right here on The Dave Ramsey Show.
Hello, everyone. This is Nina MD, Fusion of Science and Beauty. Listen to my show every Wednesday night, 6 p.m., KCAA 1050, where I'm going to give you the latest, greatest on anti-aging.
Looking for the latest news in the new Loma Linda University Medical Center? It's in the Loma Linda City News, along with more local news in a calendar section with what to do and where to go for fun. The Loma Linda City News, in print and online at lomalindacitynews.com.
We have our friend and longtime partner, Howard Russell, who is the CEO and president of Christian Healthcare Ministries. Howard, it works. It's affordable for followers of Christ. This is, in fact, an actual ministry. It's not just a word in the title of your organization.
There's a wonderful model that members in all 50 states, they pay a monthly membership fee. If they have medical bills, they send those bills into us. We send the money to the member who then pays the bills. That model works because it finds its basis in the Bible in Acts chapters 2 and 4. That's what we do, and we are legal, plus we are more affordable.
You can go to chministries.org. That's chministries.org. And on their website, you can get every answer that you could possibly ever need, and you can communicate with their amazing team. So check it out now, chministries.org.
This is KCAA.
Imagine that you're among the 4 out of 5 people who received help paying for quality health coverage through Cover California at the lowest possible cost. Imagine seeing a doctor for everyday aches and pains, unexpected emergencies, and preventative care. Imagine receiving help finding a health plan that's absolutely right for you and your family. Imagine not having to imagine.
Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care. Visit coveredca.com to find free, local, in-person help or enroll online by December 15th to have coverage by January 1st.
In the mood for some great Chinese food? Well, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is where you need to be. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food not only has a delicious dinner menu, they also offer delicious lunch specials including their yummy fried rice and chow mein. But get this, it also includes any 2 items just for $5.85. Or you can get any 1 item for only $4.85. You should also try their Big Bowl special for just $4.10. The service is fast and friendly. Mr. Yu's Chinese Food is located at 256 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino, California. To contact Mr. Yu's Chinese Food, call 909-383-0195. Again, that's 909-383-0195. And yes, the Carousel Mall is still open.
That's right!
Music Changing Lives, KCAA, and Daniel's Jewelers are working together to make Christmas brighter for thousands of children in the Inland Empire. Random Act of Kindness is a toy drive orchestrated by Music Changing Lives, and KCAA is a collection station. We will be collecting gifts until December 22nd, Monday through Friday, 8 till 5. If you bring by a gift for a child worth $15 or more, you'll get a $50 off coupon card from Daniel's Jewelers. Drop off your $15 donation at KCAA, located at 254 Carousel Mall in San Bernardino. For more information, call Di Rice, that's me, at 909-885-8502. Again, 909-885-8502. Music Changing Lives, Daniel's Jewelers, and KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Thank you.
Joining me for a couple of segments, number 1 New York Times bestselling author of the book Smart Money, Smart Kids, my daughter Rachel Cruz. raising the next generation to win with money. Talking about kids and money, Christmas time and kids and money. So you got questions about teaching your kids anywhere from 0 to 33 about money. You call in and we'll talk about it with Rachel. And the phone number here is 888-825-5225. Kelly just cleaned off a couple of lines looking for people that want to talk about kids and money and ask questions. The number 888-825-5225. Welcome back, Rachel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back on.
So giving is the top subject right now. It's holidays. It's Christmas time.
'Tis the season.
And the little guys they're kind of extreme about giving. They're either big-time givers or they don't want to give it all. And sometimes that has to do with their emotional development or their age or whatever. Sometimes it's got to do with other stuff that's going on. But giving it's something we have to teach our kids to develop, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's any other skill in life. You have to learn how to do it and to do it wisely. And I don't think there's a better time than now in the Christmas season. And even though it's cliche, but it's true. There's so many opportunities for kids to give and to serve, and as a family as well. So I think this is a perfect time to start teaching and honing in and refining that skill.
You remember that little book we had when y'all were growing up? Bearstein Bears. That's who it was. Had the gimmies.
Oh, yes.
Gimme,
yes, at the grocery store.
Yeah, and the kids this time of year, sometimes they get the gimmies. Mm-hmm. And one way to get the eye off of themselves, I guess, is to teach them to give.
That's
rather
right.
than this is not all about you getting, it's also about you giving.
Yep.
And age appropriately. We don't want to preach a sermon to a 3-year-old. Let them enjoy Christmas, for goodness sakes. But we do want them to start to develop age appropriately, developing that giving muscle. So what are some ways that you can teach your kids to give to others with reasonable common sense during the holidays?
Sure. Well, I think one thing is, and we talk a lot about it in the book, though, is that more is caught than taught. And so one of the best ways to teach your kids to give is for you to give and for your kids to see you give. And I think involving them in your giving is huge. And I know, you and Mom did that really well. I feel like we were really involved in the giving aspects, and I think as a family, again, because there's so many opportunities this time of year to go and serve as a family, and it's uncomfortable, it's not fun, it's not always convenient, but those are the memories, those experiences is what's going to shape them, not necessarily what's under the tree this year. So I think really realigning the priorities and saying, okay, hey, what can we do as a family for our children to actually serve and to give? Yeah, sure, there can be money as well, doing an angel tree type thing, but also giving of your time. And I think, especially in today's day and age, time is such a valuable commodity, right? I mean, like, everyone values time so much. And so to give some of that away is huge.
I had a weird experience the other day. I ran into this guy's like 30 years old. And he goes, when I was a kid, you came to my house. And I'm like, say what?
Oh, my gosh.
It's kind of weird. And turns out, he talked me through it. We had adopted a single mom in our church that we knew about. And we didn't know her and didn't know the family, but we heard about her through the church, rather. And you guys all went and bought
I remember that.
For those kids. And we took the stuff over there one night, all of us together. I'd completely forgotten about it.
Well,
It was a million years ago.
Couple of those. So
we did it several times, but it was a million years ago. And you never think when you're doing something like that, you're going to meet the kid when he's 30.
Yeah, that's
crazy. It was like surreal, You're like, yeah, I was that little kid, and I always thought someday I'm going to make enough money that I can do that for somebody. So it's all those years later inspiring.
Well, I like to say,
More's caught than taught.
Yeah, and it's contagious, like that experience, affected him, obviously. And so what's going to do? The ripple effect of his actions now.
So if your kids get a cash gift for Christmas, Grandma gives them $100 and they're 6 years old, how much of that should they spend? How much of that should they give later? How much of that should they save?
Well, from my experience growing up as a Ramsey child, from what I can remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys didn't make us give on a gift that we received.
Right.
It was money we worked for that we had to give.
Right.
And so, and I would say to a parent too, with the savings percentage, I think that it'd be smart to teach them to save some of that. I don't think you have to go overboard, and I don't even know if there's a specific percentage that should be allotted.
What occurred to me as I was saying that, I was making up that example as I was saying it. It occurred to me that the amount relative to the age of the kid, $100 for a 6-year-old sounds like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't sound like a lot for a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
To me. And so I probably would be inclined to save more of it when they're 6 than when they're 16.
But you guys, for our car, we had to pay for half of our cars when we turned 16. And I remember a lot of that money coming in. We didn't spend a lot of, Grandma and Grandpa's money that we got. Not that I remember, maybe some.
Yeah, but I mean, how many $100
savings.
things does a 6-year-old need?
Yeah.
That's my point. So there's not much else to do with it if you're not going to re-gift it.
Yeah.
If you're not going to ask them to give it, then they need to save some of it. Otherwise, they're going to spend the whole thing. And, $100 worth of candy? What are you going to get, really? And so it is kind of age related. So if you give $1,000 to a 16-year-old, it's different.
Right.
You're probably going to go, okay, you don't need to spend all that. My gosh, no.
That's right.
And so it's kind of, you just think through what is in their world that they could spend it on that doesn't, and let them enjoy some of it. We wouldn't put it all in savings. I think that would be a mistake too.
Yeah.
But the larger portion, if the gift feels large for the age, I guess is what I would say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Probably go that way. So how do you teach your kids healthy spending habits here during Christmas? Because, buddy, the merchandisers have the heat turned up. You put a kid in a store right now, you put a kid in a Target, you put a kid in Walmart, you put a kid in the mall, whoo, man, that's like a sugar high. They're going bananas.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. This is hard because, again, my inclination is the giving aspect during the season. So to teach them to spend wisely. A part of me says you don't really need to spend a ton as a kid because you're going to be getting some stuff for Christmas. So, I don't know exactly what there needs to be to spend. So, I don't know. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I guess if they're buying gifts, that might be the only spending that they're doing. They're buying gifts for their little brother. They're buying gifts for their mom.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
And there's always teachable moments in those times. Whenever a child's purchasing something, there are moments as a parent you can step in and guide and teach and explain those kind of things.
An amount that's relative and reasonable based on their age and based on their means that they have to give with. And so, you don't, when you're 4, you don't need to give your 2-year-old little sister a $400 gift. People do weird stuff, so you just have to say it out loud. Let's not do that. And so spending is there's a series of lessons you learn around spending or buying a gift for others. Maybe your mom doesn't want a brand new Tonka truck.
That's right.
Maybe your mom doesn't want a new Barbie. So maybe you're not really thinking about your mom here.
Yes.
And there is some spending guidance.
Yeah.
And some teachable moments in the middle of it.
Even a lesson to not spend money that you don't have. And I think, for parents and adults out there, that's a huge message during this Christmas season as you're out shopping.
Have a
to make sure that you're not spending money that you don't have. You're not racking into credit cards this Christmas and it follows you into June. And so for your children as well, that you obviously can't spend money unless you have it. And that simple lesson is good for a 5-year-old and a 55-year-old.
So what's the line between giving your kids too much during the holidays or letting them be content with what they have?
Well, I have an 8-month-old, so
she's pretty content if she's dry and fed.
That's right. Yeah, and I think this is hard. I think a lot of parents find this hard balance of how can I bless my children but not enable and spoil them? And so I think, looking at their heart and their character and to enjoy Christmas, I don't think you have to go by all these rules and this legalistic view. Let them enjoy, have some fun gifts if you can afford it. But you don't have to give them everything. And I think it's good for them to hear the word no and for them to feel the limit of what you're spending as well.
Common sense again and balance. Taking your questions about kids and money with my daughter Rachel Cruz, author of the book Smart Money, Smart Kids. By the way, it's on sale for $10 at DaveRamsey.com as part of the big Do Christmas Right sale going on. Don't miss it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Ramseys are workers. I've worked.
Listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF Moreno Valley.
California headline news. The head of the San Bernardino County Public Health Department, which lost several people in last week's mass shooting incident, talks about coming through such an ordeal.
We are strong. We are a family. We held each other and we protected each other through this horrific event.
Public Health Director Trudy Raimondo thanking the community and people around the globe for the outpouring of support. A former Pakistani classmate of shooter Tashfeen Malik says he's in disbelief. Talal Shahir studied pharmacy with Malik for 5 years at a university in Pakistan, calling her a top student.
My instruction was straightly, it can't be her. It can't be her.
USA Today reporting that the wife of one of last week's victims says survivors claim her husband got into a heated argument with Syed Farouk about the Holocaust, prompting Farouk to leave the holiday party at their office before he returned with his wife and opened fire. Geico weather continued warm conditions in Southern California. Slight chance for showers in the Bay Area. Jeff Scott, California News.
The boss just asked you when that new building will be completed. Well, don't panic. Call the name you know, General Steel. You've known General Steel for decades, and you know they'll save you about half the cost and about half the time of conventional construction. But did you know that General Steel has provided buildings for some of the biggest names in business and government? And I'll bet you didn't know you can get General Steel quality and save thousands. For example, a 40-foot by 60-foot building for under $22,000. Call now and lock in some of the lowest prices this year. Call 888-98-STEEL today.
When you're running your own business, you're bound to be busy. Too busy. Too busy worrying about your budget. Too busy scheduling appointments. Too busy to build a website for your business. And because you're too busy, it has to be easy. And that's where Wix.com comes in. With Wix.com, it's easy for you to create your stunning website. Go to Wix.com and create your website today. It's easy and free. That's Wix.com.
InfoTrack is the weekly show with information you should know. Hi, everybody. This is Chris Whitting, inviting you to join me each week for InfoTrack.
Sundays at 6 a.m.
Right here on CNBC KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Here's a look at the KCAA community calendar. I'm Di Rice. 'Tis the season of giving, and Music Changing Lives is gearing up for its annual toy drive. Random act of kindness. MCL is in need of Santa's helpers to distribute toys and gifts to children in severely impoverished communities throughout San Bernardino and Riverside County on Christmas Eve. Last year, the organization distributed gifts to nearly 2,500 children in some of the poorest and roughest communities in the Inland Empire. This year, they would like to bring joy and happiness to 3,000 children in need. With your support, they can reach their goal. Please help to brighten the holidays for some of the most vulnerable children in our region. If you, your business, or organization is interested in collecting toys or volunteering, please contact MCL at 951-992-0721, 951-992-0721, or visit musicchanging.lives.org. And that's a look at the community calendar on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Tom Ladd. For this afternoon, it'll be sunny. Expect a high near 79. Cloudy tonight with the low of 52. Sunny Tuesday with the high near 82. It'll be cloudy Tuesday night with the low of 47. Sunny Wednesday. Expect a high near 79. Wednesday night cloudy with the low of 46. Chance for rain Thursday. Mostly sunny and a high near 71. That's your weather forecast for this hour. From the station that leaves no listener behind, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
Are you tired? Are you tired of being tired? Do you hate your job? Do you feel like you're on a hamster wheel and want to jump off into balanced living? Then tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. It's a show about hope and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So there's no CNN, constantly negative news, no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk. Instead, you will hear callers ask Dr. Marissa, also known as the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura, for advice about love, hate, money, jobs, sex, and what to do next. So join me every Thursday at 7 for Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa on KCAA AM 1050 NBC News Radio. This is Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, signing off until then. Peace in and peace out.
We're talking kids and money. Rachel Cruz is my guest for a couple of segments. If you have questions about teaching kids about money, you jump in and we'll talk. The phone number is 888-825-5225. The book is Smart Money, Smart Kids. You can get it at DaveRamsey.com, at RachelCruz.com, at SmartMoneySmartKids.com. And you can learn all about the all-new class for parents, teaching parents how to teach their kids how to handle money. Rachel does 90% of the teaching, 80% of the teaching in that, and I'm in there a little bit. And fun fact about that class, when that video was being shot, it was a big secret. She was was not ready to announce yet, but had found out she was pregnant with her first child while she's shooting a class on teaching your kids how to handle money. The irony of ironies. So morning sickness in the middle of the video. So here we go. Yeah.
Well, I went to a church just yesterday who was doing the class, the Sunday school class. I went in just to answer some questions at church close to my house. And so, yeah, I was telling them, I was like, yeah.
Right there. I was sick.
Yeah, I was
right
like,
there.
I can watch it and my stomach starts turning again, but I still love it. It's great.
I love it. You can follow Rachel on Twitter at Rachel Cruz. That's Cruze, or Instagram, which is where she hangs out more. And of course, Facebook is the same as well. So at Rachel Cruz on all of those. David is in Atlanta. David, your question for Rachel and me about kids and money.
Hey, good afternoon. I just wanted to start off by saying that my wife absolutely loves Rachel's blogs, like religiously watches them.
Well, thank you very much.
Awesome. Tell her hi.
But my question is, I have my oldest son is going to be 5 this week. My youngest is going to be 3. I'm not with my oldest son's mother, and so we have him half the week. And so we alternate. My question is, how can I teach my oldest son how to, earn his money, how money works, how to save your money? Because, our answer for so many things, Dad, I want a Hot Wheels, Dad, I want a monster truck. It's not in the budget right now, buddy, or something, whatever it is, but how do I get it? How do I get him to understand?
How's your relationship with his mom?
Oh, it's great. I mean, we don't hang out and stuff, but I mean, yeah.
It's not adversarial then. Okay, Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, number one, just start with the basics, because, he's 5, so you're not going to have, some, deep theological discussion about money with him, right? So I think keeping it age-appropriate is very important. And I like just starting with the basics of give, save, and spend, and start teaching him how to work and to do chores around the house and let him earn some of his money. And once he earns some money, split it up into those 3 categories, give, save, and spend. That way, when the Hot Wheels comes up, if he has some money to spend, he gets to buy a Hot Wheel with his money or save up for one. And so I think just starting with the basics and it not being too crazy strict. I like to say too many rules is legalistic, but too much grace is enabling. So finding that balance with him. But again, the basics of give, save, and spend and working for your money, I think, is a good place to start.
It's an excellent place to start. And here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I want to do. I want to give you a copy of our book, Smart Money, Smart Kids, for you to give to his mom. And then I'm going to give you a copy or a set of the Financial Peace Junior, which is the box of teaching aids. Includes a little a little magnet dry erase board for your refrigerator to put chores on, and 3 envelopes, give, save, and spend. And so you can assign some little lightweight chores, wink and nod, right, to a 5-year-old and give them a little bit of money for doing that. And then you can teach them to work so they earn. Then you teach them to save some of it, to spend some of it, and to give some of it. And you can let mom know what you're doing and see. I mean, not try to force on her that she has to do the same thing, but if she has this book, say, hey, I'm doing this stuff at home when he's over here. I just want you to see what it is and see what you thought of it, and you can give her a copy of the book, and that'll get you guys kind of on the same page with him, so he's not getting two different messages at two different households is my point. And so that's where I'd start there. So I'll tell you what, if you'll hold on, I'll have Kelly pick up and we'll give you a copy of the book for her, for your ex, Smart Money, Smart Kids, and a copy of Financial Peace Junior for the young man to begin to learn. It's pretty amazing how quick kids get excited about this in most cases. If the relationship is right and the household is right, how fired up some of these little kids get about working and saving and giving and spending, isn't it? Yeah, that's like one of the comments a lot of parents talk about once they go through the book or the curriculum or whatnot, and they say, gosh, I was surprised how quickly my 6-year-old wanted to do it, or my 4-year-old. And so they are motivated. And I think parents, if you're excited about it, they're going to be excited about it. And as a parent, it is your responsibility to teach them about money. So to step into that space and to really be intentional with it. Schools, some of them do, some of them don't, but it's not their, I mean, it's nice if they facilitate, but it is your responsibility. Nick's in South Bend. Nick, your question for Rachel and me.
Hey, Rachel and Dave. Nice talking to you. Thanks for taking my call. Sure. What's up? Well, my brother is 13, and I really want to be able to teach him, kind of help teach him, not to make the mistakes I did with credit cards and school loan debt. And, he's getting to that age where, he asks for different game consoles and different things. And my mom is maybe not the best to kind of teach him about that stuff. She kind of. How old are you? I'm 27.
Okay. What do you make a year?
I just started a new job where I should make about 40.
Okay. So he really looks up to you. You're like a way older brother.
I try to be. I try to teach him right and give him little.
How's his grades in school?
Pretty good, actually.
Okay, cool. Here's an idea. I used to do this occasionally with my kids. Sometimes I would pay them for a book report. And so let me give you a copy of the book, The Total Money Makeover. A 13-year-old can understand it.
Okay.
And you pay him good money for a book report. What's good money?
$10 for every A?
No. He's going to read this book that I give you to give to him. He's not. Right. This is not a school assignment. This is you saying, "Hey, this is the stuff, kiddo, I wish I had known before I went out and made the mistakes." This is you talking to your little brother and you handing the book. And I feel so strongly about it. If you give me a book report after you read this book, I'm going to give you X dollars.
Okay.
How much is X to motivate him?
Okay, I got you.
How much is X to motivate him?
I don't know.
Well, it needs to be big. What's big?
Maybe $50.
That's the most, yeah. That's a good number. That's a lot. That's a lot of money, but you know what? When you're 13, that's a lot of money. I want to get his attention because what that says is, it says your big brother thinks this is a big freaking deal.
Right.
$50, man. Right?
Absolutely.
And so, because if you give him $5, you're saying, I don't think this is important.
Right.
And you could save the kid $50,000, couldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Of mess by doing that. I'll give you the book if you put up the 50.
Absolutely.
And I used to do that some with our kids and have them read stuff I wanted to get them to read. Hey, man, thanks for the call.
Merry Christmas to both of you guys.
You too. Hold on. Nick. I'm going to have Kelly pick up, and I'm going to send you a copy of Total Money Makeover for him. You remember me? Did you ever do a book report? Did I give you money for that?
Yes. And
Daniel did more of those.
Like Dale Carnegie. It was like all these old business.
Dale Carnegie.
Businessman.
There's nothing wrong with Dale Carnegie.
No, it's great. But I was like 12.
How to Win Friends and Influence People. You ought to read that when you're 12.
It was like an encyclopedia.
You didn't turn into a nerd. You lived through it.
At least, I don't know. Like Thou Shalt Prosper, I still don't always get, Rabbi laughing is like so brilliant that I'm like, still
intimidated by that book, huh?
Yeah, so there's still
It's a thick book too, Rachel. You could read it.
There was a small, the Go-Getter, or QBQ.
QBQ,
That was a small one.
Yeah. Rhinoceros Success. You probably read that.
Yeah, we did some of those. Oh, my gosh.
The Go-Getter, for sure.
Changed my life, everyone. Changed my life. No, I'm kidding. It was good. Good resources.
Get out of my studio.
Yeah, good resources.
Rachel Cruz, thanks for dropping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Merry Christmas, America. Back with your calls on The Dave Ramsey Show.
KCAA is proud to announce another new service for all North American listeners. Now you can listen to our station on your telephone by calling us at 832-999-1050. Our service is available on any standard telephone, cell phone, or smartphone. Simply call 832-999-1050. That's 832-999-1050. Standard cell phone rates may apply.
I literally started my business on a card table in my living room. In those days, I was the one responsible for keeping track of my expenses. And if I wanted my family to eat, I had to make sure the money was coming in. I was a true entrepreneur. Nowadays, I know there's a better way. It's called FreshBooks. And I'm a big fan of what they do. FreshBooks is an online software and mobile app that allows you to track your time, capture expenses, and create professional invoices. It's easy and it works. Find out what over 5 million entrepreneurs and small business owners just like you have already discovered. You can try it free today at getfreshbooks.com. Just enter the Dave Ramsey Show under How Did You Hear About Us for your free 30-day trial. That's getfreshbooks.com. And remember, enter the Dave Ramsey Show to get started today.
This is KCAA.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Hey Di, do you know that many people have no idea that the Carousel Mall is actually open?
What? Do you tell them that that's where KCAA is located?
Of course, but there's more than just KCAA here.
Oh, I know. It's a totally great place for a girls' outing. Here at the Carousel Mall, there's Mega Beauty Supply.
And it's huge.
Yeah, the biggest beauty supply store I've ever seen. And they have wigs and extensions.
Then there's Backstreet Beauty Salon and Daniel's Jewelers, a store, by the way, for girls and guys.
Yes, and Nail Fashions where they do waxing and eyelash extensions. There's Lisa's Threading. You know, Mark, eyebrow threading is a big thing nowadays.
I do know about Mr. Yu's.
Yes, when you're ready for lunch, it's Mr. Yu's Chinese restaurant.
Best of all, Mr. Yu's is right next to KCAA.
Yes, all this located in the Carousel Mall, right off the 215, the 2nd and 3rd Street exit.
Come visit the Carousel Mall. We're open.
For more info, go to kcaaradio.com.
Of Ramsey Solutions, Justin and Nicole are with us. Hi guys, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Welcome to Nashville. Where are you guys from?
We are from Roanoke, Virginia.
Fun. And here to do your debt-free scream.
Absolutely.
And how much have you paid off?
we've paid off $100,000 in 25 months, Dave.
Love it. Making what kind of money during that time?
Well, we started at $100,000, and we took a little bit of a pay cut of about $15,000, but we're now back up to that $100,000 mark.
Dave, I want to tell you the reason that we're back up to that $100,000 is because this man right here knows how to work. And he took Justin as a police officer, and he took every single overtime slot and every single extra assignment that he could get.
Wow.
To make up that difference.
Wow. So why did the income drop?
Well, when we got married, we were living in 2 different cities.
Oh.
And it was very difficult for me to find a job where Justin was in Roanoke. And
I'll take a pay cut to get in the same city as newlyweds.
well, the thing is, Dave, we had so much debt that I couldn't move there without a job. And so it took me a year to find a job. So the first year of our marriage, we were apart.
Jeez.
And once I found a job, we were able to move. And yes, we did take the pay cut at that point. But
yeah,
I just was kind of like, well, that's going to be $15,000. That'll just kind of delay our debt snowball. And Justin looked at me and said, no, it's not. No, it's not.
He stepped up and made that. If you'll stay in the town with me, I'll work.
Yeah.
It's a good trade.
It was a good trade.
I love it. Very cool. What kind of debt was the $100,000?
Well, the $100,000 was 100% my Virginia Tech debt.
Oh, VTech. All right. Very cool. So we're going to get to play you guys at Bristol.
Absolutely. Yes, Battle of Bristol coming up.
It's going to be big. Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
I got my hat when I was up at Bristol the other day. It's got UT on one side, VTech on the other. Battle at Bristol. It's a good hat. Yeah. Brings up a lot of comments. So that'll be fun. Good. So $100,000 from VTech. And you, I guess, criminal justice?
No, I'm actually an international studies major, concentrated in business, world politics, and policy. And the market was not good in 2011, so I took a job where I could. I'm also a military reservist.
Oh, okay.
So I had a lot of security and public safety background due to my military experience. And so law enforcement was the clear choice at that point, and don't regret it, love it. Love every minute of it.
Cool. Very cool. Good for you guys. So were you married 25 months ago then? Is that what started the journey?
A little bit more. We didn't start our debt-free journey until August of 2013, and we were married in April of that year.
Okay. So what happened in August? What flipped the switch?
So when we got married, I had never been in debt. And I had money in the bank, didn't know who you were, but was living very close to the principals and just saving a lot of my income. And once I realized what it felt like to be in debt and realized that we could be doing this for 20 years, I couldn't take it. And I was like, we have to do something. This is not going to work.
Yeah.
And so Justin heard
you. It's smothering when you're not used to it.
Oh my gosh. It is so true when you say that the borrower is slave to the lender.
Yeah.
I never knew what that meant until I was the slave.
So you're smothering and you walk in to Justin and tell me about what happened.
Well, he was already paying off more, paying more, and he wanted to get out because he had been living with it already. But because we hadn't been married, I knew about the debt, but it's just different to know something intellectually and to know it in your heart. And so once I understood it in my heart, I found some of your budgeting forms on a blog, and I'd seen you around church, and then Justin was working the night shift at that point, and you're on at night in Roanoke, and so he would listen to you in his cruiser. And it just kind of all came together. And so we did our debt snowball for a year independently, just using the website and listening to the show. And then we decided to take a class at a local church. And that really gave us the momentum that we needed.
And how you were married for an entire year before you made the move to Roanoke?
That's correct.
Whew, man, that's a tough one.
The tough part is actually we got married. We had an awesome honeymoon. And then I was back for 2 weeks, and then I got sent down to Charleston, South Carolina with the military for 10 weeks.
So my gosh.
So the first 10 weeks of our marriage, not only were we in different cities, but we had very, very little communication as well.
Yeah, you got oh my gosh. Well, good news is if you can do this, you can do anything, right?
That is true.
That is
wow.
a fact.
So the biggest obstacle, it sounds like, was the distance and then the extra work that you poured in. And so... yeah. So did people make fun of you guys? Question your sanity as you're doing all these different things?
When they see my car they did. I've got a 1991 Honda Civic. With 280,000 miles on it.
Oh, yeah, total hoopty.
And it is about to be replaced, along with, we've got another car. It's a CRV. It's also got 270,000 miles on it.
Man.
So I do a lot of my free time when I'm not working. I'm working on the cars.
Yeah, you got a couple of them running hoopties there, man. You got some miles on those Hondas.
Absolutely. We're getting every dollar out of them.
Yeah, you did. Well, it's time to move up in car now that you're out of debt.
Sure.
Good for you guys. Well, congratulations. How's it feel?
It feels so good. I can't even, I know you know how it feels, but it feels like a relief.
Well, the sacrifice y'all put in is amazing.
There's three things that we really, really love doing. Our big hobbies are to give, to travel, and to eat.
There you go.
So now we can do a lot more of the traveling.
Three good ones. I like all three of those, yeah.
So we actually just got back from Guatemala last week. We were down there on a missions trip, and I was able to snag Rachel off the elevator before your last segment, and we talked to her a little bit because we used the Smart Money, Smart Kids as I taught a life skills class to the older boys. And it was a little difficult with the language barrier, but there's a lot of kids down there that are about to age out, and they've got no idea how to handle any of their money. So I was real thankful to Rachel for the resource that helped us when we were down there.
Very neat. Very fun. Well, congratulations, you two. Very, very well done. You're rock stars, man. You did it. You're heroes. You can do this. You can do anything. You got it. This is so cool. All right, Justin and Nicole, $100,000 paid off in 25 months, making 100 down to 85, and then Justin kicks in the OT, gets it back up to 100. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! I love it, I love it, I love it. Excellent. Well done, you guys. Very well done. Open phones this hour as we talk about your life and your money. John is with us in Evansville, Indiana. Hi, John.
Hey, Dave. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Just wanted to mention we're about 2 payments away from finishing baby step 2 and then getting into the savings and habit and paying extra on the mortgage. So
good.
What I've set up is payroll. I'm on a commission-based income, so it varies, as you know, from month to month. But we set it up so that the paychecks will go directly into savings with the idea of only pulling out what we need for our bills from month to month and allowing the savings, that 6-month savings fund to accumulate. Then we can beef up the retirement savings. Does that sound like a doable strategy rather than just hoping we'll pay ourselves at the end of the month?
No, I'm not necessarily. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I'm not a fan. My way of preference would be that you put the money in your checking account and you intentionally put it into savings. And we always believe you ought to put giving and saving at the top of your budget so you do them before you do anything, as far as a priority goes. And you can always do a level of giving and a level of saving and still have money to eat, still have money to keep your lights on and that kind of thing. Sure. And what we're trying to do here is develop the intellectual muscle to do that until you build that emergency fund.
Right.
And
well, my thinking was I'm close enough to retirement that I'm going to, in a couple of 3 years, be relying on, money that comes in at the beginning of each month anyway, if that would help me to gear up for that.
Well, you got a budget for that anyway. I mean, you got to run a budget on whatever money's coming in. So, I mean, if you want to run it that way, I'm not mad at you about it. I probably would do it the more traditional way of putting all the money in your checking account, move money out of the checking account into savings account, so that you know you're saving and you're building it. And it's not an accidental thing. It's not a what's left over thing. It's we intentionally say this amount of money is going into savings and we move it over there. And that's the way I would recommend it. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
KCAA AM 1050 and 106.5 is proud to announce that we are a collection station for Random Act of Kindness, an annual toy drive coordinated by Music Changing Lives in Redlands. This year, Random Act of Kindness is in special need of gifts for teens, such as electronics, music instruments, bicycles, remote control vehicles, and shoes. Smaller ticket items include books, board games, jewelry, and DVDs. Clothing items are always families in need as well. And if you'd rather give cash donations, please call Josiah Bruni at 951-992-0721. Random Act of Kindness will be distributing toys to over 3,000 kids this year in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Please come by KCAA at the Carousel Mall, Suite 254, and drop off your gift from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. For more information or to help distribute toys, call 951-992-0721. 955-992-0721.
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now. It's free.
Are plunging on slipping oil prices, which are in turn pulling down shares of the major oil companies. The Dow's down 169 points, the Nasdaq lower by 55. But airline stocks are higher. Cheaper oil means cheaper jet fuel and more profits. Leading the way, JetBlue, United, Southwest, Delta, and American Airlines are all up this afternoon. Airbus appears to be winning the annual race against Boeing, the jet maker topping 1,000 aircraft orders between January and November, but it isn't over yet because Airbus continues to lag on deliveries. General Electric is walking away from a deal to sell its appliance business to Electrolux after hitting regulatory hurdles. The deal would have been Electrolux's largest acquisition ever. And the Federal Trade Commission has moved to prevent Staples from buying its top rival, Office Depot. Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio.
You don't have to be a retail giant or government agency to be the victim of a costly data breach. If you run a website and collect customer data, your small to mid-sized business is just as likely to be targeted by hackers. The Barracuda Web Application Firewall provides cost-effective instant security against automated and targeted attacks, making this WAF a must-have for your SMB. Reclaim your network. Try a Barracuda Web App Firewall risk-free at barracuda.com/WAF.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is our New Year's gift to you. Circle this date, Friday, January 15th. You're invited to start the new year off right with a subscription to BuySellMakeOffer.com. Some other selling sites can be sketchy, and even others will charge you a fee on every item you list. But with BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell your washer, dryer, cars, or even your home with no per-item fees. And you can use Skype, make a video. You can actually see the person you're buying from, or they can see you, all to better sell your product. Wouldn't you like a feeling of security when you buy or sell? That's why we call it BuySellMakeOffer.com. And you don't have to wait until January 15th to find out what the buzz is all about. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and type in your email address so you'll know exactly when the fun will begin. The first 30 days are on us, and then it's as little as $7.95 per month to sell up to 50 items. Join the revolution in online selling with BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Good afternoon. It's 1:03. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live local news here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. The Chicago Police Department will be reportedly under the microscope of the Justice Department. The Washington Post reports that an investigation will be in a broad civil rights probe similar to the ones that it has launched in Ferguson, Missouri and in Baltimore. The department has recently come under scrutiny following the release of a dashcam video showing a police officer gunning down a 17-year-old black man last year. And today, County Supervisor James Ramos said hearts are heavy in the wake of last Wednesday's mass shooting at the Inland Regional Center when 14 people were killed. But he says it is time for the county to move forward.
There is much to be done in the coming days and weeks. And our focus today is supporting the victims and their families, doing all that we can to ensure the safety of our employees.
County Supervisor Janice Rutherford says county workers will not be scared to go to work.
The purpose of terrorism is to make ordinary people afraid to do the ordinary things that make up their lives.
And Rutherford furthermore says that those who were killed last Wednesday were dedicated public servants.
They weren't soldiers, but they became the front line in a battle against terrorists. To honor them, we have to fight to maintain that ordinary.
And Inland Empire weather today, we've got a few clouds out there, highs near about 80 degrees overnight, lows 45. More of the same for the weather story tomorrow. Looking at your traffic conditions, Waterman is supposed to be reopening sometime soon. They're saying now in about an hour. It was reportedly supposed to be open about 12, but that just means they're just wrapping things up right now. However, San Bernardino Avenue is back open, and that is the very latest with news, weather, and traffic on the station that leaves no listener behind, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM.
The Colton Cement Plant is closed and the rail yard is expanding. Find out what's happening next in the Colton City News. Get more local news, local features, and a great calendar section full of local events for your family. The Colton City News, in print and online at coltoncitynews.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. And most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Brent Humphreys is in the house. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you with us. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We got a little bit of a celebration today. We start with fun. We will get more serious. National Cotton Candy Day today. National Cotton Candy Day. Well, Brent, you like to be over at Legoland a lot. You get some cotton candy over there?
I haven't had any, but you've given me a great excuse. And that's not sugar-coated.
I knew we had to get a pun from you somewhere.
It's always sticky.
It's all... Oof, we're gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something with your mic. It sounds a little funny to me. Maybe it's not the mic.
If you see cotton candy before others, do you have pink eye?
I like the blue cotton candy. You go for the pink one.
I do. Gotta admit it.
I'm not gonna say a word. All I can do is get myself in trouble by saying anything at all there. Oh well, we're gonna move right along. Serious note. Pearl Harbor Day today. We do obviously remember those who were killed that day, sacrificed that day, brought us into World War II. And we certainly can never forget. Got to learn history. Obviously, we had, I think it was last week or the week before, we had Gail Eastman in talking about learning history and teaching the third graders the history of the U.S. And obviously, that was a major day, a major event in our history. Got to learn from it. There's a lot that we can learn from, a lot that's been going on that we can really learn from, and I hope that we will do that. I was doing a little studying and listening to some commentary, I think it was in the Washington Post, from our former Secretary of Treasury, Lawrence Summers, served during the Clinton administration, talking about the fear or the forecasting maybe that he has, discussing a rate, the what appears to be an imminent intent of the Federal Reserve to raise interest rates next week, the 16th. And Mr. Summers' comments, very, very startling when we listen to what he had to say, talking about a combination of issues, raising interest rates. Are you aware that the U.S. was in a moderate economic pattern in the mid-30s, the mid-1930s? Not a great economy going on. They had done everything they could. They lowered interest rates into the latter part of the 30s. And in 1938, the Federal Reserve decided that even though the economy was not strong, they were going to raise interest rates in 1938, and they did. What happened in 1939? Just an idea of learning from our past. That's one of the issues that I bring up here. 1939, obviously, the stock market took a major drop. Great Depression ensued. We've got a lot of different economics going on right now, but I do like the idea of at least listening and learning from the past. I mean, will it happen again? I hope not. Could it happen again? Here's the issue of what I say all the time about could it happen again and learning from history. I know we can never make guarantees in this industry. I mean, I know that the latest numbers that we've just reported show that real estate is reported to be on a rise, and we're saying 5.2% next year. Does anybody know that it's going to be 5.2% and not 5.3 or 4.2 or... No, we don't know that. We can't guarantee it. We can only go by best estimates using very, very strong or people that we can believe in. That same report told us that we're going to expect a projected increase in the state of California, 10.8% next year. And it's coming from a very, very reputable source. This is coming from CoreLogic. They are one of the industry leaders in forecasting, taking 10.8% in California next year. Can we guarantee it? No. But we use history to try and project the future. As long as you don't live in West Virginia, you should be in good shape in the idea of projections for next year, again, based on CoreLogic's numbers. Using history, going backwards and trying to learn from the future. I listened to some of the recap of the speech from the president last night. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So he takes an oath of office in the midst of a huge economic downturn and a housing crisis. And what's on the top on the agenda? Obamacare. Does that make any sense?
You know better than that.
Well, we should have learned, but we didn't. Now we're watching terrorism all over the world, right? Paris, San Bernardino. Now, why anybody wants to terrorize San Bernardino, I don't know. But we've got a lot of our friends and family in the area, and that's where it took place. And I believe, and in talking to several law enforcement officers over the last few days and people that deal with terrorism as their primary occupation, San Bernardino was just a test run. That's why there were so many pipe bombs there. That's why they had so much ammunition. That's why a person that earns $71,000 a year has $30,000 in firearms. Think about that. But what are we talking about from the president last night? He wants to battle the Second Amendment of the Constitution. Does that make any sense to you? Are we learning from the past? Now, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion of the speech last night and the president's outtake. Too little, too late, too laggard, too lackadaisical. Basic 4 words that says that. Now listen to this one here. Go one step further from what the president's doing, what his administration is doing. Loretta Lynch. Now, she's charged with being the top law enforcement officer next to the president. What is she talking about? What is she doing? Think about this one, and no one else is going to tell you this except right here, Ron Siegel Radio. She's talking about the First Amendment, that we're going to upset somebody if we talk about terrorism and radical jihadist Muslims. And we might upset them, and it might lead to hate crimes. Now, let me ask you this question, or let me share these numbers with you. Hate crimes. Are you ready for statistics on hate crimes? Last year, there were 166 reported hate crimes against Muslims in the United States of America. 166. Yet, that's the battle of the Attorney General of the United States. Interesting. 598 hate crimes against Jews in the United States of America last year. Almost triple. Maybe it's more than triple, almost quadruple. Does she mention that? No. And when did we suspend the First Amendment to the Constitution? I'm just asking simple questions that inquiring minds want to know. Just think about that statistic. 598 hate crimes versus Jews, 166 against Muslims, and we're hearing about this going against Muslims in San Bernardino, but what about the issue against Christians when they talked about the Planned Parenthood shooting? Think about that one. The First Amendment doesn't say you only get to talk about the things you like to talk about. That's not what it's about. We have to learn from the past. We have to learn from it in all areas. We learn from it in finance. We learn from it in terrorism. I hate to say this because of the lack of leadership, and I've had a lot of people comment to me on this from the White House. Are we heading to World War III? Just a question. I certainly hope I'm wrong. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets as we remember Pearl Harbor Day right today. And we have to look back and we learn. We're going to talk about when we come back. We're going to get into our real estate discussion. Brent Humphreys is in the house. He doesn't get into this politics with me, except off air. We can debate then, Brent. The National Association of Realtors reveals 2 reasons to sell this winter. We're going to talk about it. How to get your offer approved or accepted when there's multiple offers. Brent will tell us which mortgage is for you. Does your state spend more money on prison than college? No, couldn't be. Give me anytime. Call our offer number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
It's not every day your home gets flooded, but when it happens, you've got the good people at Apris on your side. With over 25 years of construction and insurance experience. They can turn any disaster around, making your home good as new. For 24/7 support, call 844-GO-APRIS or find us on the web at www.apris.me. Day, night, rain, or shine. When it happens to you, you know what to do. Go APRIS. Remember, call 844-GO-APRIS. That's 844-462-7747.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. If you're in a business, you're taking credit cards most likely. Who's paying that fee? Well, you are. And do you see any of that money going to your favorite nonprofit organization? Probably not. Commerce for a Cause, they'll match the fees and send 20% back to the nonprofit organization of your choice. I thought this might be timely since Brent Humphreys is in the house today, and we're going to be chatting about how to get an offer approved. I want to chat with you in the Mortgage Minute. What mortgage is for you? Conventional, FHA, VA, or one that most people won't even talk about when it comes to buying a house? How about, I'm going to say the technical name, and I'll tell you what you know it as, the home equity conversion mortgage. Think about the home equity conversion mortgage. Put about 50% down, maybe 40%, and never make a mortgage payment. What do you think about that one? So which mortgage is for you? Conventional loans. They're basically for borrowers with better levels of credit. And we've told you the definition of good credit. It's not what you're seeing in those commercials on TV that are blitzing you saying that you need an 800 credit score. No. Conventional loans, 680 or above. There's some loans even lower than that. But 680, 700, you can get a good conventional loan. You don't have to have a huge down payment, 5, 10, 20%. Debt-to-income ratios, you have to deal with that on every single loan, which is the best for you. I'm going to share with you that in my opinion, the FHA loan, there's some good uses for the FHA loan. If you had a derogatory event in the last 5, 6, 7 years, the FHA loan, it's going to get you back in the game sooner. We want to get you out of it as quick as we can because number one, you're going to get higher debt-to-income ratios. You're going to pay a little bit more now. Our friends over at VIP Mortgage do have that special going on right now. Think about this, a 30-year fixed-rate loan, but the first year's at 2.95%. Yeah, it's a 5.01 APR, but think about that, the 3.5% down. Credit score is down to 580. Think about that one. Now, the best loan on the market, that's the VA loan. Hands down, our veterans have earned it. The best loan on the market, the VA loan. Yeah, you've got a funding fee up front, the VA funding fee. You got to understand how it works. Not every lender is approved to even offer this. So make sure you're looking into it to see if a lender didn't ask you and you've got veteran experience, you've got veteran approval, the VA loan, that is by far the best loan on the market. Now, in up to certain limits, you can do that with 0 down payment. So veterans, think about this. You're trying to figure out how to get into a new lease. No. Go call Brent Humphreys and buy a house, and you do it with a VA loan, and he can structure that so you get in with nothing out of your pocket and start making your mortgage payment next month. Actually, it'll be in February if you start right now, but that's just the way it works. Or we do it with that home equity conversion mortgage. Now, that's for our seasoned population. Brent, like how you use that term, seasoned population.
Good. Yeah.
Right? Those are our friends that are over 62. That's the reverse mortgage. Large down payment, and you're going to be able to be no mortgage for the rest of your life. No mortgage payment for the rest of your life. Yes, you have to take care of your insurance. You have to, you have to do that on a regular property, on a regular loan anyway, don't you? Yeah. Property taxes, well, if you have a mortgage or no mortgage, you got to pay your property taxes. And you got to maintain the property. So I don't see any big issues there either, but that's a great product for the right person. It's not a great product for every person, but there is no loan. I wouldn't say the FHA product is great for everybody. The conventional loan isn't great for everybody, and not everybody qualifies for the VA loan. So there's no loan that's great for everybody. But every loan has its purpose, and you need a great mortgage banker to help you with that and put you in touch with our friends over at VIP Mortgage to help out there. They can handle all of your lending needs. That's the Mortgage Minute. Again, brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. So we're going to chat this morning. Brent Humphreys, Humphreys Homes and Estates, Carlsbad, California.
That's right.
So we got to get into this because right now I'm going to suggest that next year, or as we get into springtime, we're going to get back into a marketplace, especially if property values are appreciating, like CoreLogic says, 5.8% California. I'm sorry, 10.8% California, 5.2 throughout the country is a national number.
So we're double in the Golden State.
Then what we're going to be looking at is we might get back to multiple bid situations.
We're there now.
Okay, so we're already there. Interesting. Okay.
I didn't come in with this because it's not happening. It's happening.
Okay. So give us a couple of ideas. Let's start. Give me the best thing that somebody can do. I should say. I'm going to say the second best thing somebody can do if they want to get their offer accepted.
The second best thing
Well, the first best thing is they got to work with a great real estate agent.
That's right, and a very great lender.
Okay, so we can only go to number 2 from there.
So it really, Ron, it comes down to what I like to call reveal and appeal. Reveal is let the seller know everything relevant about you that will make them fall in love with you. There's something emotional that happens with a lot of people when they sell a home. They want to know, who is this family or who is this person? Who's going to be moving in? Who's going to be taking over this bedroom, this living room? Who's going to be caring for the yard? Sellers really want to know that. And the more you can share in an offer, not just with terms and price and timing, but about who you are, will really, really help.
So you're trying to develop. Well, but here's the difficult part. I mean, Brent, I wouldn't take a picture of me because that would scare somebody, right?
No.
But maybe my wife and kids, they would like to see those pictures. How do I get to know them? Because in this day and age, for the most part, I don't meet the seller if I'm the buyer.
Correct. You may never see them. So you've got to meet them through developing a relationship in bite-sized pieces. Think of the way things happen with social media, where you see a little picture, or you see this, or you see a post about the kids, or about you and the wife getting away, and then over time, you feel like you know the person. In real estate, it's the same way, but you've got to accelerate that and make it happen really, really fast. Let people know who you are and that you've toured the neighborhood, that you have 3.4 kids, and I don't know how that works out, but that, it's
the 0.4 is a tough one.
It's a bad on-air joke, yeah. But that you've looked at the elementary, the middle, and the high schools, that you've satisfied yourselves with the commute to and from work. And the more the seller knows that you are in love with their home and that you're an informed, ready, willing, and able buyer, and that all the influencers have seen the property, there are no outside influencers, that the mortgage was a full conditional approval and not a pre-qualification where, I like to call it the lender quickie. John and Jane called the lender and said, here's generally what I make and I think my credit's good. How much do I qualify for? And they get that spit out, congratulations, we think you can pull it off letter. You want to have a letter with bullets based upon your income, based upon the credit reports that we've pulled, based upon tax returns, pay stubs, all of that. You are pre-approved for $565,000. A letter with substance, with resume bullets, will make you look a lot better in the process.
Now, here's one that I just got the other day. I had a gentleman who told me that the lender approved him, and I'm going to do it off the top of my head. The numbers really don't matter. But the lender approved him at $425,000. And he's comfortable with a payment that equates to about $350,000 purchase price.
Interesting.
And should he be asking the lender for a pre-approval letter at $350, or should he be asking for a $425, or should he wait for the realtor to say, for a conversation with the realtor to decide what they're going to make their offer at and go from that number? Excellent question.
So what I would say is that in a market of limited inventory and historically low interest rates where properties are moving very quickly, I would advise the buyer to have the lender send both letters, and maybe one somewhere in between, and have those both available in the cloud. So the moment that offer is made, you can present an offer with a good pre-approval letter that matches what he's trying to do. People have varied over the years about if they qualify for $425 and they're offering $425, is that a good idea? Or what if it's $4? Should I let them know how much I qualify for? That's what I'm trying to say. And years ago, I used to think it would be better to suggest a lower amount, but sufficiently enough to make the offer. And then if you need the additional money, add it. Now I think it's better to actually say what you qualify for. And here's why I say that.
Save that.
Okay.
Oh, what a great segue there, Brent. What are you going to qualify for? We're going to chat about that. How does Brent feel we need to make? Because we're talking about getting the offer accepted. This isn't where we're just dealing with the negotiation. We're trying to get this accepted. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we're going to get that answer from Brent Humphreys. The National Association of Realtor report reveals 2 reasons to sell this winter. What are they? And does your state spend more money on prison than college? I can't believe that there are states that would do that, but we'll talk about it. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, and on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL lendingteam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Southern California attorneys have over 15,000 real estate agents to call in Orange County for their personal and professional needs. Why do they overwhelmingly call Melinda Johnson? Simple. It's the Melinda Johnson trifecta. Melinda is an attorney, real estate broker, and realtor. Does your family deserve the same professional services California lawyers demand? Call Melinda Johnson at 714-863-5485. That's 714-863-5485. Or on the web at freedomfirstproperties.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
37% of American homeowners believe they have over 20% equity in their homes. Fannie Mae tells us 69% of American homeowners have over 20% equity in their homes. Fully 1 in 3 American homeowners are not informed about the amount of equity they have in their homes. Are you one of them? How might this be holding you back from achieving your goals? Text RSR CMA to 79564 to get a property valuation from one of the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Again, to know how much your home is really worth, simply text RSR CMA to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. In every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Area trusted real estate professionals. What do you think they're going to be helping you with? Interesting. I was at an event last night. Amazing how many people wanted to know what their home value is. And I'm going to share with you. You can go online. You can get this information from Zillow. You can get this information from Trulia. You can get them from a lot of different sources. And if you will look at their website, they will tell you the data they're giving you is wrong. Gotta love it. The data they're giving you is wrong. They tell you on their website. So what do? I'm going to share with you any place that you're going to go to get an automated valuation. And yes, I understand this because I've led a lending team for decades. We go online and we look at automated valuations to get an idea, especially if you're thinking about refinancing your house, to get an idea of what the value is. But that's not going to, number one, it's not going to tell you that's going to tell you what happened historically. A realtor, they're going to tell you what they can sell your property for. Why would they tell you what they can sell it for? And it may be higher, it may be lower. Why would they tell you what they can do it for? They don't make any money if they just give you a value. They make money if they assist you and if they educate you to a level of comfort that you're willing to trust them with your largest asset, your most valuable asset. So if you will text PAIR, P-E-A-R, Professional Equity Analysis Review, to 79564, one of the area trusted real estate professionals will reach out to you for a conversation. Then they can go in and do a valuation of your property based on which side of the golf course you're on. Because if you're on one side of the course, it's more valuable than the other side of the course. Maybe you've got a view, maybe you don't have a view, maybe you've upgraded your home, maybe you haven't upgraded your home. Maybe you've still got that avocado carpeting that many of us had in our houses in the 70s. Some of you may not have even remembered the 70s.
Avocados and pears. This is planned, isn't it?
Exactly. Avocados and pears. Fruits, sir. Fruits.
That's right. Bear fruit.
Text PAIR, P-E-A-R, to 79564 and get the true value of your home from one of the area trusted real estate professionals. The National Association of Realtors reports reveal 2 reasons to sell this winter. And I'm going to give you those 2 reasons. The last 2 major reports issued by the National Association of Realtors revealed information that suggests that now is a great time to sell your house. Let's look at how the data covered by the latest pending home sales report and existing home sales report. Pending home sales report reports announced that pending home sales, homes going into contract, are up 3.9% over last year and have increased year over year now for 14 consecutive months. Lawrence Yoon, National Association of Realtors chief economist, expects demand to remain stable through the final 2 months of the year and forecasts existing homes, obviously this was done a couple months ago, forecasts existing home sales to finish 2015 at a pace of 5.3 million, the highest since 2006. Takeaway, demand for housing will continue throughout the end of 2015 and into 2016. That's how we come up with a number of what values are going to do this coming year. The existing home sales report. The most important data point revealed in the report was not sales, but instead the inventory of homes on the market. Oh, we've got to look at supply and demand. The report explained total housing inventory decreased 2.3% to 2.14 million homes available for sale. That represents a 4.8 month supply at the current sales pace. Unsold inventory is 4.5% less than a year ago. Now, Brent's been telling us this for months, that the amount of homes available in San Diego are down. We didn't need Lawrence Yoon to tell us, but Brent, they must be listening to you, right?
I'd be flattered if Lawrence was listening to me.
There were 2 more interesting comments made by Mr. Yoon in the report. Number 1, new and existing home supply has struggled to improve, leading to few choices for buyers and no easement of the ongoing affordability concerns still prevalent in some markets. Second, unless sizable supply gains occur for new and existing homes, prices and rents will continue to exceed wages in the next year and hamstring of a large pool of potential buyers trying to buy a home. As rents and prices increase, potential buyers will not be able to save as much for a down payment, and many may become priced out of the market. Takeaway, inventory of homes for sale is still well below the 6 months needed for a normal market. Prices will continue to rise if a sizable supply does not enter the market. Takeaway is take advantage of ready, willing, and able buyers that are still out looking for your house. And again, if you want to know what your house is worth, because so many people, we've told you 30% of the people, we saw that in a Freddie Mac report, 30% of the people have the wrong idea of the value of their home. 30%. It's actually a little higher than that.
I think it is.
Text PAIR, PEAR, to 79564. Get the value of your house and take action now. Maybe you want a bigger house. Maybe you want a right size. Maybe you want to move to San Diego or to Santa Barbara. I don't know. But again, take action. That is the real-time real estate segment brought to you by those area trusted real estate professionals. So before the break, Brent, we were talking about the idea of getting an offer accepted. And we're chatting with Brent Humphreys Homes and Estates in Carlsbad, talking about the idea of getting an offer accepted, the idea of the letter that tells the seller that the buyer is pre-approved, not pre-qualified, that somebody has legitimately done some due diligence.
Yes.
You're mentioning the idea of having, and I'm gonna throw 2 different thoughts at you, then I want to let you take it away from there.
Okay.
When you send out a pre-approval letter that's the exact same number as on the offer.
Correct.
That's going to certainly tell the seller and the seller's agent that there is some sort of a close relationship, a working bond between the realtor and the mortgage person.
Yes.
Right? So there's one side of it there.
It's coordinated, yeah.
We've also talked about the idea that if a realtor wants to get their property seen by the majority of the marketplace, they're going to list that property undervalued, right? 15%, the statistics show, means 90% of the available buyers. If you list it 15% below market, 90% of the marketplace is going to see the property. 15% above market means 10% of the marketplace sees the property. But if you did that, listed at 15% below, and the offer letter comes in at the exact same price, the seller's scratching his head saying, they can see me scratching my head here on live stream, ronsegalradio.tv.
I'll scratch mine too.
Okay. They're saying, well, that guy doesn't qualify for the price we really want, so we don't even entertain the offer.
Right. Well,
what are we going to do?
Well, you're the lender, but here's what I see. What I see is that, based on your example, the person's comfortable with a $350,000 mortgage payment, but they really qualify up to $425,000. Let's suppose, now I'm just going to interject, that they've offered $400,000 on the property. Okay. I think the question that you're asking is, should we show $400,000 and coordinate it, or should we say $425,000? Right. And my view is that if you just deliberately pare down the letter, different spelling. Yeah, correct. Sorry, I don't mean to mess up the text for your area trusted professional. If you pare down that letter to exactly what the person qualifies for and that they're offering, if interest rates change unfavorably, so they're offering $400,000, the letter says $400,000. If interest rates go up 0.25% or 1/8, they suddenly don't qualify. So I think it's better to show the maximum qualification of that buyer, because in a multiple offer situation, you want to look as strong as possible. You don't look like you just barely scratched up enough change underneath the couch or the mattress to be able to qualify.
Interesting. Okay, so there's a million ways to do it, and one of the things that's beautiful about what we're sharing with you this morning on Ron Siegel Radio is Brent's out there doing it every day. It's not a textbook. Nothing against textbooks. We've got our friends over at Chapman University. I was with some of them yesterday. Nothing against textbooks, but you're out there doing it every day, which is the most important part.
Yeah, I want to know that buyer. When I run an offer desk, which I do, and an offer comes in, I want to know that buyer can qualify, period. And if it's a 30-day escrow and we think that interest rates are going to tick up over the next month, I want to know they've locked in, all of that.
And I'm going to suggest that most real estate agents, realtors, real estate brokers, their main focus is not economics. And while they are seeing superficially what the markets are doing, they're not studying it every day like an economist would, like a banker would. They're out there studying the real estate and the real estate market and the real estate values, and they don't want to deal with the interest rates.
Unless they're weird like I am.
Well, I'm not even going to go there, Brent. I was being nice to you, too. Give me a couple other ideas on what we can do. We've got actually, you know something? Brent's got about 4 more ideas on how to make your offer the one that's accepted. And we'll talk about them when we come back, because you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. If you want to meet Brent Humphreys, just give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. I'll make that introduction. And stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home, but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Attention homeowner 62 and older. Do you worry if you can afford to keep your home? Are you concerned about paying all your monthly expenses? Or do you simply wish you could live a better retirement? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you may qualify for a program that can help. It's called FHA Reverse Mortgage. It's insured by the federal government. You'll receive tax-free money. You aren't required to make any monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home. Siegel Lending Team is a local leader in FHA reverse mortgages. Call free to get your free reverse mortgage guide, free custom quote. And when you call now, you can get all your questions answered by local experts. There is no monthly mortgage payment and tax-free money you can use for healthcare expenses, home improvements, or just live a better retirement with peace of mind. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-1990 to get your free reverse mortgage guide and quote. You'll also find them on the web at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Call 800-306-1990 now.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today brought to you by your household board of directors. Chatting with a guest or somebody last week, and I didn't realize this. It's kind of a sad topic to bring up, but we don't get the opportunity of just sharing the things we like here on Ron Siegel Radio. Do you know what the number one week is for filing divorce? Number one week of the year? First week of January. People actually figure that they're going to go through the holidays being miserable and take action the first week of January. You might want to have a household board of directors. And in order to get that household board of directors, it does include family lawyers. We all know that as we come up to the end of the year, we need to be dealing with our tax planning. If you're one of our listeners that are over 70, you've got that required mandatory distribution. Brent, you probably took care of that already. The required mandatory distribution?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Area Trust Professionals, text ATP to 79564, and we will put together that household board of directors for you. I found this fascinating when we were looking at the Word on Wealth. Does your state spend more on prison than on college? There are 11 states that are spending more on prisons than they are on college. 11. I wonder what they all seem to have in common. New Hampshire, Oregon, Arizona's on there. That's odd. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Colorado, Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. These are numbers that came from the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and put together by the Kaiser Family Foundation. Those states are spending more on prisons, more of their budget gets spent on prisons than on college. The largest percentage of correctional spending was in Michigan, where prison spending neared a whopping 23% of their general fund. 23%.
Goodness.
Oregon, they lead in the fact that they spend 10% more of their fund on prisons than higher education. 10% more. And unfortunately, funding for prisons has increased 141% since 1986. And I've come up with many ideas. I don't know why they don't follow them. I think that if California, if we wanted to solve some of our crime, stick the prison out there in Death Valley, right? I mean, it might be a little bit warm, but we're not looking to air condition the place. I mean, just if that's what they want to be doing is breaking the law, so be it. Have fun. Death Valley is the place. I'll get off my soapbox. because I want to get more to the conversation with Brent Humphreys, Humphreys Homes and Estates. That is the Word on Wealth segment, again brought to you by the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio, setting up that household board of directors by simply texting ATP to 79564. So, Brent, we were chatting during the break, and you made a comment. We were talking this morning about the idea of how to get your offer accepted. And so many times I hear this, people don't look at motivation.
Right.
Right?
Or they're just not motivated.
Or they're not, right. Exactly.
It's a whole show right there, just there.
Well, we just talked about the prisons and spending all that money there. But here's the idea, negotiations, I think the answer in every single negotiation is to find, if you can come up with a win-win, it's probably the best solution.
That's right.
And my motivation may not be apparent until I actually divulge it. And some people may be motivated by money, some may be motivated by time, some may be motivated by convenience.
Convenience is it.
Right?
Have you read my notes?
I didn't. They're typed so small.
Convenience is a biggie.
I'm so old I can't see that they're typed way too small for me, Brent. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Dealing with the seller's motivation.
Okay, so there are two things that happen in every offer that need to take place. And if one of these does not take place, you're going to be very, very fortunate if your offer is accepted. You need to reveal who you are, what your intentions are, why you are the best candidate to be accepted. This isn't a multiple offer context.
Okay.
But you also need to have appeal. So reveal and appeal. And appeal is where I see most of the offers that come across my desk when buyer's agents present on some of our listed properties, where people are missing the wagon. Is that a new phrase? I don't know. They're missing the wagon. They're missing the boat. They're missing out. What is the seller's motivation? Why are they selling? Are they selling and moving out of state? Are they selling to downsize? Are they selling and then they're going to just exit the market and rent? Or have they identified another property? And does that property have a time frame with it? When I get PDF offers, hitting my inbox, and then maybe just a random text, hey, I presented an offer, just please confirm receipt. That is from an agent that's not trying, or they're just misinformed. They need to call and find out, what's your seller's motivation? Have they identified another property? Is there a time frame? Do they need to rent back their property? When you make an offer with a certain price and a 30-day escrow, you may hit the price right on the nose. But if the seller needs to rent back because they're buying new construction that's not going to be done for 2 months, you need to work out that timing so the seller doesn't have to move twice. My wife and I have been in 21 purchase and resale transactions in our 20-year marriage. And I can tell you one thing I know, particularly because of the young children, moving's a pain. And so if you can present an offer...
You haven't figured out how to do it yet, because you've done it 21 times.
Yeah, one time with a golden retriever in the cab of the truck. That's a whole story. If you can minimize inconvenience to the seller, if you can time the buyer's taking possession of that property with the seller's desired date of vacating the property, you are automatically winning on so many bullet points that many offers miss. So find out what's important to the seller, because you can win through items not just price related.
And you brought up something that is very, very foreign. Unfortunately, it's more and more foreign in our society as a whole today.
What's that?
You said pick up the phone and call them.
Oh, yeah. Success begins with saying, hello, how may I help you?
Right?
You find out what they want.
Isn't that amazing? Because right now, the whole concept anymore, I email, I text, I social media message, I tweet. But the idea, I think I can say this, Steve, but I always tell agents that and a lot of business people, the key to success in so many areas of business, pick up the damn phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You and I are big time. I'm not going to say that you and I don't text a lot, and we certainly email a lot, and you're on social media more than I think almost anybody I know. Right?
Yeah.
You still have time to pick up the phone.
You absolutely have to. Yeah. A lot of offers on a property creates a lot of noise. And what you need to do is you need to find a way, and this is a radio analogy, but to tune that frequency so there's no static and you are broadcast, you are standing out. I think back a couple of years ago when I represented the Van Dyken family, nicest family you could ever meet, 4 kids, they had new construction, they weren't going to be moving for a while. And there were 32 offers on that property in the first week. And it was amazing to sit down with them for about 3.5 hours. And I made 3 stacks. No way, possible. And then, the real contenders. And I don't remember if I gave it those labels, but the idea was to really focus and hone in on the offers that sounded the best to the seller and then working from there. If you call another agent and say, hey, I'm going to be making an offer this afternoon around 3 o'clock, what things are you authorized to share with me that are really big points for your seller? Because I'd like to offer all of those and be the winning bid. There are so many agents that don't do it that way, but it makes sense. The more you can find out about the seller and appeal to them, the better your offer is going to be. And then, Ron, one thing that I just absolutely love is the idea of offering something completely over the top, crazy.
Give me an idea of something.
Okay. Imagine, think with me if you will, that you're representing a buyer on a property that's vacant, it's a little bit dated, maybe the property's built in like the 60s or the 70s, and through some basic fact-finding, you find out that the seller is moved to convalescent care or retirement home, and the children are managing the deal, okay? It's in a trust. What one thing do you know? Well, that home has been in the family for 40, 50, 60 years.
Sure.
There are memories there. There were children who were born there, maybe married there, moved on, had children, all of that. What if in your offer you wrote in, upon acceptance, buyer will plan and pay for a gathering of the family. They'll hire some entertainment, they'll cater it, and they'll fly all the living relatives in. If assuming they're across the country. It may cost you $1,000 to $5,000. What's going to be talked about when the listing agent sits down with the decision makers? This one offer, this Smith family decides to fly us all in and hire entertainment and cater a memorable party and a photographer for a couple of hours to preserve the memories in that home.
Where's his Sunday best?
This is KCAA Loma Linda, the station that leaves no listener behind. CNBC News is next, a courtesy of BuySellMakeOffer.com, where you can post a video about items you have for sale. Sign up now.
CNBC Radio. The markets today kicking off the new week with some sizable losses, and the big driver, oil prices tumbling to a 7-year low. They closed below $38 a barrel today on a global glut of crude. And with oil and gas company shares moving down, the Dow today fell 117 points. ExxonMobil and Chevron, the biggest decliners in the index. The Nasdaq today off by 40. One stock, though, surging higher today, Keurig Green Mountain. Shares up a staggering 72%. The company behind those coffee machines and coffee pods is being bought by a private equity firm for about $14 billion. The Federal Trade Commission now challenging the proposed merger of Staples and Home Depot, Office Depot, saying the combined company would have too much control over office supply prices. And two companies with products in nearly every kitchen are now in talks about a possible merger. Container giant Newell Rubbermaid and Jarden, the owner of appliance brands like Oster, Sunbeam, and Mr. Coffee. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Colonel Sanders here with another important holiday message from KFC. This year, don't get the one you love, some lame, boring gift like jewelry or toys or a new car or any other junk. No, get that special someone what they really want. Exactly, a KFC $5 fill-up with 100% white meat, popcorn, chicken, mashed potatoes and gravy, a biscuit, a cookie, and a drink. It is the perfect gift for that important person in your life who gets hungry right around lunchtime. Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's finger-licking good.
Available for a limited time only. Pricing and participation may vary. Tax extra.
There are no guarantees in love, but there is a guarantee from EH Plus by eHarmony, our new personal matchmaking service. At EH Plus, your own personal matchmaker gets to know you so well, we can guarantee introductions that will be satisfying and exciting. EH Plus goes far beyond regular online dating sites, and that's a guarantee. Visit us at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-930-LOVE.
BuySellMakeOffer.com is our New Year's gift to you. Circle this date, Friday, January 15th. You're invited to start the new year off right with a subscription to BuySellMakeOffer.com. Some other selling sites can be sketchy, and even others will charge you a fee on every item you list. But with BuySellMakeOffer.com, you can sell your washer, dryer, cars, or even your home with no per-item fees. And you can use Skype, make a video. You can actually see the person you're buying from, or they can see you, all to better sell your product. Wouldn't you like a feeling of security when you buy or sell? That's why we call it BuySellMakeOffer.com. And you don't have to wait until January 15th to find out what the buzz is all about. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and type in your email address so you'll know exactly when the fun will begin. The first 30 days are on us, and then it's as little as $7.95 per month to sell up to 50 items. Join the revolution in online selling with BuySellMakeOffer.com.
Good afternoon. It's 2:03. I'm Di Rice with the very latest in live local news here on KCAA, as well as national and international news, KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. A new poll shows a majority of Americans are in favor of sending ground troops to fight ISIS. According to a new CNN survey, 53% of people want boots on the ground to fight the terror group in Iraq and Syria. Nearly 70% of people say the military response has not been aggressive enough, and 60% say the military action that's already taken place is going poorly. And here at home, neighbors expressed bemusement today of the burst of activity near the riverside home of Enrique Marquez. Authorities believe Syed Farouk bought rifles used in the deadly San Bernardino terror attacks from Marquez. Neighbors say Marquez hasn't been home since just after Wednesday's mass shooting. Authorities say he has not been arrested, but he is reported to be in a mental health facility related to the disbelief of last week's tragedy here in San Bernardino. And today, an FBI Assistant Director David Bowditch said that the investigation is looking into how, where, and when the radicalization took place. Bowditch said there's nothing that indicates a larger plot, but he does state there is evidence of pre-planning in the attack.
Both of these subjects participated in target practice in some ranges within the Los Angeles area. That target practice in one occasion was done within days of this event.
An official with the ATF says that all guns used in the shooting had been purchased from federally licensed gun retailers in California between 2007 and 2012. Inland Empire weather, got some clouds out there today with a high of 80, overnight low of about 45. Tomorrow, more of the same type of weather. Right now, we are at 82 degrees here in San Bernardino. Checking out your drive, they're still saying that Waterman is shut down both north and southbound between Orange Show Road and Hospitality Lane. However, San Bernardino Avenue is fully open, and other than that, you're looking pretty good out there. A little stop and go on the 215 in Moreno Valley between Alessandro Boulevard and Eastridge Avenue. Other than that, that's the latest here on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anissa McNeil. I do the work and I tell the stories of foster youth. Join me Mondays at 3 p.m. on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Getting America back on track. Bill Martinez live.
Welcome back, America. It's Bill Martinez here with you. 6 minutes after the top of the hour. As always, it's great to have you along with us, enjoying the day and doing everything we can to get this country back on track. Meanwhile, we got a great story for you. For those of you that caught it on the big screen, I know it was an incredible experience for you. I mean, near-death experiences are being reported more and more these days. And 90 Minutes in Heaven did a lot to further the conversation. And with us right now is the focus and the subject of the true story. Don Piper himself is back with us. Don, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Honored to be with you. Thank you.
Well, it's our honor, Don. Congratulations on the movie. Did great. People loved it. And now it's coming to DVD and Blu-ray this week, right?
It is. It's just kind of surreal, though, to have other people playing or being you and saying your words and living your life in front of you on a big screen.
I mean, talk about deja vu all over again, huh?
Yeah. In tribute to Yogi Berra. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Exactly. Well, 90 Minutes in Heaven, of course, the stirring story of Don Piper, who died in a highway accident, experienced heaven, and returned to face severe physical, emotional, and spiritual challenges, which was demonstrated quite dramatically by Hayden Christensen. Did a great job playing you. Was that your perfect design, Don? You sit there and go, okay, I'm going to do the movie, and I'm going to get Hayden Christensen to play me.
Well, as everybody knows, he is most famous for his role in the Star Wars series as Anakin Skywalker, who becomes Darth Vader. So my kids have started calling me Darth Preacher now. And that's pretty strange. But, no, I thought he did a marvelous job. Bless his heart. He if you can act laying flat on your back for 3 weeks in bed, which is about how long it took to film all the hospital sequences, you must be pretty good. So it was a difficult part for him, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all those different ways. And I thought he really rose to the occasion. I'm really proud of him. It was strange, though, to be there in the hospital room set with him, standing at the foot of his bed and looking down at him in the condition that I was in for all those months. It was surreal for him, I know, for me to be there, and vice versa. It was quite something.
Yeah, but he got the best part of it. I mean, he only got to act you for about 3 weeks. You suffered for what seemed, an endless amount of months going through what you had to go through in order to recover. Not only you, but your family. I mean, and it's all portrayed here in the movie very dramatically.
Well, I have said from the beginning, when I got hit by the truck, we all did. I was on my way to church, so the church was obviously tremendously impacted by it. Everybody who knew us suddenly had to put a bookmark in our lives because, it just all stopped that day. We all had to focus on whether I was going to live or not after I did come back, and what my quality of life was going to be. 34 surgeries and 13 months in a hospital bed. So it tremendously impacted us all in ways that we can hardly speak of. And that's one of the things the movie can do. It shows that it's not you're not just reading words off a page or someone telling a story verbally. They're reenacting it, and it is quite powerful. And frankly, a little difficult for us as a family to watch because we lived that experience, but it does seem to impact people who watch it in a very dramatic way, and hopefully you wanted to. You wanted to motivate people, to give them hope, really.
Exactly.
It's a movie about hope.
Right. Well, there's something, very profound about a miracle, and you, Don, are a walking miracle. I mean, what does that feel like? I mean, you talk about being surreal. I mean, I'm sure that you have a very profound and different perspective about God and your relationship with God, His sovereign hand upon your life, the fact that, here you are after all these surgeries and everything. How's Don Piper today?
Well, I often say if you know where you're going, you probably should be having a better trip on the way. And I knew where I was going the day the truck ran over me. I just wasn't planning to die that day. And who is? People who are listening right now, they're hoping to live long and meaningful lives, and we hope so too. But you have to be ready for what happens next. I happen to be prepared that day. I think heaven is a prepared place for prepared people. And so when the truck hit me, that's exactly where I went. But when I came back to really in a horrific existence. And I had to find a new normal because I was never going to be the same again. There's a lot of things they can fix, and it is miraculous what they were able to do to me because they, I lost 4.5 inches of my left femur, and my left arm wound up in the back seat. I had brain damage, internal injuries. No one really could have or should have survived this ordeal, but miraculously I did. So when people see me, even on the screen, being portrayed by someone else, they become very conscious that it's just an unbelievable miracle that I am still alive today. So I believe in miracles. I know God is still in the miracle business. I know that He answers prayer because there were literally tens of thousands of people praying for me And I'm still here. I had nothing to do with my survival. Their prayers were answered. So I believe in those things, but I also believe that heaven is a real place that you can go there. So I try to bring hope. I'm trying to get people into heaven and help them have a better trip on the way.
There must be a reason why you survived, Don, to come back. I know many people who have had near-death experiences. One of the things that I hear over and over again was they didn't want to come back.
No. If you've been there, you don't want to be here. It's absolutely across the board. And I've obviously shared with many of them, and they've contacted me after they've heard my story. My story now, the book has been out almost 12 years, so that kind of contributed to kind of a renaissance in all things heaven. People wanted to talk about it. And so I've heard a lot of stories from other people that they've never told anyone else. And it's absolutely universal. None of them wanted to be here after they've been there. So we do have something tremendous to look forward to say the least. But we have to be ready for it. And we ought to be living a meaningful life on the way. So that's really kind of what this story is about, but it should be all of our stories, is that the death rate here is 100%. We're not going to survive this life. Exactly. There is another one, a better one, and we can have a meaningful life on the way, even if something tragic and painful and enormously difficult happens to you.
Don, when you were going through this, and especially in the ensuing months following the accident, you go to heaven, you come back, and your body, all that you had to go through, I got to imagine you had some really, deep conversations with God saying, it's bad enough that I was happy to be there. I didn't want to come back. You send me back, and I got to go through all this pain. And, it's like, okay, God, what's the point? Did you ask God that?
Oh, absolutely. Daily. Flat on my back there for 13 months in the hospital bed, unable to move or do anything for myself at all. I looked up because it was the only direction I could look. And I would ask the same question every day. You brought me back for this? Yes. It was horrific, really. I looked like I fell in a farm implement from the neck down. I have so many scars on me from all the surgeries and skin grafts and things like that. So I really struggled with it, and it just came to a head one morning about 3 a.m. when I finally said to God, why can't you send somebody here who understands what I'm going through? Everyone's nice to me, but I want to talk to somebody who gets it.
Right.
And God basically spoke to me and said, you get it. You're looking at this all wrong. This is not about you. It's about you reaching out to other people.
Amen. Well, that's why God blesses us, to go out and be a blessing. And for those that think that God is not in the miracle making business, there is Don Piper's life that speaks louder than somebody else's opinion, without a doubt. 90 Minutes in Heaven, now on DVD and Blu-ray. Don Piper on Bill Martinez Live. Thank you, Pastor. God bless.
This report is brought to you by Bank of America, working with travel expert Ted Allen. During the holiday season, consumers usually juggle multiple travel plans. However, being flexible in your travel itinerary can make the difference between a hectic experience and one that's low stress. Ted Allen, TV host and travel expert.
Being flexible when planning your holiday travel is key. For example, we all know that holiday flights can be overbooked and crowded. Thankfully, airlines regularly give out vouchers to those willing to switch flights. If you can, be flexible about your travel times and take advantage of these offers, because there can be some great perks, such as valuable travel credit. Likewise, I love ditching the restrictions of typical airline rewards cards. My Bank Americard Travel Rewards credit card eases my holiday experience because there are no blackout dates, and I can book on any airline anytime and pay myself back with the points I earned. Redeeming points on travel purchases makes my holiday very merry.
For more, visit bankofamerica.com.
Actress, singer, and humanitarian Hilary Duff is kicking off this season of giving for a good cause.
I've joined forces with Johnson & Johnson's Donate a Photo program to raise funds to support Save the Children and other nonprofit organizations.
Donate a Photo is a free app that turns something most of us do every day, sharing a photo, into a way to raise funds and awareness for the causes we care about.
I'm sharing my photo to support Save the Children's Early Step to School Success program, which gives parents and caregivers tools and training they need to give their child a strong start in learning and in life. Johnson's Baby brand will triple all donations made to Save the Children through Donate a Photo this holiday season.
You can do it too. Visit donateaphoto.com.
Did you know that by losing just 10 pounds, you could reduce your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis by a whopping 50%? Hi, how in the world are you anyway? I'm Andy Willoughby from ILikeTheWayILook.com. ILikeTheWayILook.com uses hydrolyzed collagen protein to help you lose weight and tone up. So watch the video at ILikeTheWayILook.com. That's ILikeTheWayILook.com.
Are you ready for the biggest bank heist in history? Well, here it comes, my friend. The Federal Reserve has decided to keep interest rates at zero for the 6th straight year. Trust me, this is economic insanity. You need to read this new report from Craig Smith called The Biggest Bank Heist in History. Just call 800-289-2646. 800-289-2646. Free for the asking. Please be prepared. Make sure you know how to handle your money, your portfolio, your bank account. This new report is called The Biggest Bank Heist in History. You can get it now.
Thanks, Pat. Call toll-free 800-630-1496. That's 800-630-1496.
Learn how to protect your wealth. The biggest bank heist in history, free.
Call 800-630-1496. 800-630-1496.
Hey, Bill Martinez here, and I want to tell you about something I'd like you to help me with, something that is dear to my heart and I've been personally involved with for quite some time. Over the next couple of months here at Bill Martinez Live, we're going to be partnering with Food for the Poor to literally transform the lives of families in Haiti through food, housing, jobs training, and other life-changing and life-saving initiatives. I'm going to need your help. Food for the Poor has been helping the poorest of the poor for just about 30 years now in 17 Latin American and Caribbean countries and is the largest international relief organization in the U.S. One of the things I love best is 95 cents of every dollar goes directly to the work they're doing to benefit those they're helping. In a day and age when you can't always be sure how your money is being spent, Food for the Poor has the highest rate of efficiency that I'm aware of, bar none. So keep listening. We'll have more information, a link so you can help, and a phone number so you can call to make a difference. Food for the Poor and Bill Martinez Live, changing the world one family at a time.
3, 2, 1.
Attention, attention.
You're listening to Bill Martinez.
All right, here we go.
Well, hello, America. Bill Martinez back with you 20 minutes after the top of the hour. Good to have you along with us, as always. BillMartinezLive.com. That is the address where you want to go for all the information, including our past interviews. So always good to have you along with us. Well, according to the U.S. Fire Administration, nearly 47,000 fires occurred during the winter holidays, claiming more than 500 lives, causing more than 2,200 injuries and costing $554 million in property damage. Can you imagine? I mean, when I saw those statistics, it just absolutely blew my mind. I knew that it was incredible, but did not believe it was quite to that level. In addition, fires that begin in the kitchen, a popular gathering place during the holiday season, are 4 times as likely to occur during the winter. Now, to help us fully understand and get a better handle on this is Gail J. McGovern. She's the CEO and president of the American Red Cross, and Steve Serenelli, the American Red Cross Regional Disaster Officer and volunteer firefighter. Gail and Steve, welcome to Bill Martinez Live. How are you?
Great, Bill, and thank you so much for having us on your show. We really appreciate it.
Well, great to have you both on. Good morning, Steve. I got to tell you, Gail, I was really surprised, but, it makes sense when you think about it. The kitchen fires are the leading cause of home fires during the winter holiday season. What is going on?
You're absolutely right. And in fact, more people die from home fires than any other natural disaster. And it's really quite a problem. We respond to a home fire about once every 8 minutes somewhere in the country.
Well, Steve, you're in the kitchen. Okay, so tell us some ways that we can avoid home fires in the kitchen.
Certainly, Bill. As we've already stated, that the increase of home fires during the winter holidays is definitely noted. As we gather with family and friends, cooking becomes an activity as we celebrate those traditions. Some of the things that we can do in the kitchen to prevent fires, one really is just keeping pot handles turned in so they're not accidentally bumped, as well as keeping children and pets away from, at least 3 feet away from the cooktops and open flames in the kitchen. Another common problem that is associated is the kitchens become the focal point of our homes, clutter, items on the counter, that could be near the open flame in the cooking surfaces. So you want to keep items, even ingredients, away from open flames on the stove as well. My fire department, as well as numerous across the country, respond to kitchen fires that result from folks that leave food unattended on the stove, maybe they're distracted momentarily, and really that's something folks should be aware of, again, is to make sure that if they do have to leave something they're cooking, they turn the flame off before they leave the kitchen area.
Steve, I'm glad you mentioned, just a real simple thing like handles pointed in to the into the stove, into the range area. I got to tell you, I mean, the kids always tease me. They go, "Dad, why are you so compulsive about it?" I said, because to me that is just that's danger all over when that handle is just sticking out the edge. It's easy to bump into and knock over. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Now I'm going to play this for my kids and say, "You see, even Fireman Steve says we need to be watching this."
Certainly, absolutely. That's something you should. And also just another thing that, as we're going through these, that comes to mind as well as loose-fitting clothing as we're cooking. You're reaching over the cooktop, so that's important as well.
Yeah, we want a form-fitted apron there, don't we, Gail?
We sure do. It's a real hazard if you've got loose clothing while you're attempting to cook.
Well, Gail, real quick here, some people may think, when we're talking fires during the holiday season, the Red Cross, this is a busy time of the year for the Red Cross. So how does the Red Cross and home fires come together here during the holidays especially?
Well, the holiday season is definitely the biggest time for home fires. And as I mentioned, every 8 minutes we are responding to a home fire. And we come out, we help the families, all around the country. We provide food, shelter, simple things like a toothbrush or a stuffed animal, warm blanket, lots of hugs. And we want to help educate people to prevent these home fires. In fact, they can go on our website, redcross.org, and get all kinds of tips as to how to avoid home fires.
Well, how can we help the Red Cross, especially during the holidays, Gail?
Well, we want to be able to be there whenever there is a home fire, and in order to do that, we really could use your listeners' support. They can volunteer for the American Red Cross or make a donation, and any size donation is so deeply appreciated. They can go to our website, redcross.org. They can call our 800 number, 1-800-RED-CROSS. And we also have a wonderful holiday gift catalog where you can buy a gift in somebody's honor and really give something that means something during the holiday season.
Well, the American Red Cross provides comfort and hope to victims of nearly 70,000 disasters each year, and most of them are home fires, and this is why it's important that Gail and Steve are with us. They're joining us live from Washington, D.C., sharing, insights to help us keep our homes and families safe during this holiday season. Steve is a volunteer firefighter yourself. What are some tips that we need to be mindful of regarding the holidays and home fires? What else do you suggest?
Certainly, as we start to decorate around the holidays, some items and things that we can do and think about specifically is when you're putting those decorations up and you're using decorations, keep those away from heat sources. Again, the rule of thumb there is 3 feet. Candles are another major contributing cause of fires, particularly during the holiday season as well. And if you do have candles lit, again, another rule of thumb is to keep it 12 items that could be combustible, at least 12 inches away from the candles that are burning. And when you do leave the room, make sure that you put the candles out. While using lights to decorate, you want to make sure that those lights are serviceable, that the lights aren't frayed. And importantly is before you retire at the end of the evening, you shut those lights off, or before you leave the home, you want to make sure that you can shut those lights off. Again, if you visit our website at redcross.org, there's a plethora of a lot of tips out there that folks can go on, and if they missed any this year, definitely they can see them again.
Now, what about dry Christmas trees, Steve?
That's another very good point. You want to keep that tree moist. Make sure the tree itself is away from heat sources, and you want to keep water and keep that tree from drying out.
Yeah, and it's okay to spray the tree, too, on the outside, right? I mean, a lot of times we just expect the water to come up from the root, but, hey, a little bit of water on top and externally like you would any other tree or, bush or plant that we have in the house that we spray on the outside, that's not bad either, right?
Well, I'd like to just point something out there, and I would definitely consult with the manufacturer of your light that you're using, because if you're using indoor lights, you want to make sure that they can have that type of moisture put on them.
Well, Gail, we got about half a minute left. What else can people do to prevent fires during this holiday season, and what is the Red Cross doing?
Well, first of all, as Steve said, I would definitely go to redcross.org and read all about fire prevention tips. And the other thing that we're doing is we have a major campaign to try to reduce death and injury by 25% in 5 years. And to do that, we've been installing smoke alarms. We've already been in 2,600 communities. We installed 150,000 alarms. And believe it or not, we've already seen 28 confirmed lives saved.
Wow,
so
that's
those smoke
just awesome.
alarms are really important. Yes, we think it's awesome, too.
Well, that's great. Well, live from Washington, D.C., Red Cross President CEO Gail McGovern and Red Cross Disaster Officer and Volunteer Firefighter Steve Serenelli. Thank you so much for being with us on Bill Martinez Live.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Join me live to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family. This holiday season, we have several quantum state supplements on special, perfect as a gift for yourself or loved ones. Support your health during the cold winter season with nucleotides and D3 Gold. Promote your best digestion with our HCl Support Trio. We even have melatonin PG for premier anti-aging and antioxidant support, and the freshest and best quality turmeric in a capsule. All are on special. Buy two, get the third one free. What a deal. Call 800-370-3447 to take advantage of this limited time offer. That's 800-370-3447. This holiday season, give the gift of great health.
Join Dr. Bob Marshall every weekday afternoon at 2:30 right here on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Welcome to Healthline Live, brought to you every day at this same time, Monday through Friday. Your host is Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, a clinical nutritionist for over 35 years. He's successfully helped more than 50,000 people. That's why he's known for nutrition that really works. And he's here today to share nutritional secrets which have taken years to discover and which he's implemented on his own health journey. The supplements that Dr. Marshall recommends are almost all live source, free of questionable encapsulating agents, and have been created using the highest manufacturing standards available for dietary supplements. Dr. Marshall's comments have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. On each and every show, Dr. Marshall listens to your health and nutrition questions and provides education for your continued good health. And now, here's Dr. Marshall.
Welcome to Healthline Live. We're here to answer your nutrition and health-related questions with the latest 21st century discoveries so you and your family can enjoy and keep great health. You can call in toll-free, 888-588-7576, 888-588-7576. And you can also visit us online at qnlabs.com. Prior broadcasts and all of our radio times are out there on the web and much more. So tell a friend, have them visit us there, qnlabs.com. And by all means, don't miss our Saturday 1-hour blockbuster show. And you can see that again on qnlabs.com. And we have much more time, so we have more teaching and more everything. And so join us, qnlabs.com. And don't forget, every day we come to you, we've got a blockbuster special to reward you for tuning in. And today we're going to focus on something we call Delta Boost. This is Delta Tocotrienol. One researcher, Dr. Barry Tan, spent 30-plus years studying this. and he found that the true vitamin E is the delta tocotrienol, and he found that annatto was the richest source. And now there are hundreds of studies showing the tremendous benefit of the true vitamin E for healthy circulation in the body, for healthy inflammatory response, for dealing with mild pain. It also tends to trap some of the potentially irritating compounds like NF-kappa B and cyclooxygenase, COX-2. So many of these little guys. Most people say when they take even one little teeny capsule, wow, they can notice they breathe better. This is the real vitamin E, and I just love it. It's real tiny soft gel capsules. 1 or 2 in a day is usually plenty. And to get its